Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. So right now, if you go up and look the news, like the recent BBC articles or any of the major news article, there's like one thing which pops out really out there, which is a big drop in the number of international students coming to the UK. Right now, we know that this drop was coming, and that's like what we'll discuss. That why we think like this drop was coming. What are some of the immigration changes which the UK government have made, which has led to such a big drop, and what does it actually mean for the students who are already here in the UK or who wants to come to the UK, right? What does it actually mean for them, and how a lot of these universities have been impacted? So these will be few of the topics, so let's straight away get started with it. First section, I'm going to talk about what has actually happened, what is the problem, right? So the first thing is, when the new government came, what they saw was there was a big increase in the number of international students who were coming to the UK. Every single year there was a big increase of the students who were coming to the UK. And you might all know that it was kind of relatively easy to get the student visa for the UK. There were like minimum rejections on the, if you compare it to some other countries like Canada or US, right? So if you look at the number of rejections, it was one of the lowest, making it a really lucrative country to come and study. And obviously, you know that the UK education system is really good. But now, when the new government came, they were like, we need to. Even the previous government came up with a lot of these policies, which we will discuss in this video, which was to restrict the number of students who were, well, they wanted to curb illegal migrants, but also, as they were trying to curb the illegal migrants, they also put a lot of restrictions on the international students. But now, international students were the one who bring a lot of economy to the UK, right? Therefore, it's like affecting the way the universities structure, the financial structure actually works, right? Because we as an international student pay like £20,000 as a fee, whereas if you're a Scottish student studying in Scotland, they just pay £1,000. Now, why a Scottish student just pays £1,000 and you pay £20,000? The fact that they were able to pay £1,000 was because of few all fees, like because of us as international students, because international students bring a lot of money. As a result, they were able to give subsidy to all the Scottish students, and now we all have decided to not move abroad that much, like specifically in the UK, because of the immigration policy. As a result, all the universities are complaining that, oh well, international students are dropping, the numbers are dropping because of the immigration policies. As a result, it is becoming difficult for them to run the universities, right? So some of the universities which I was looking up on the news was University of Lincoln, and mainly the Scottish universities. They have been greatly impacted, whether it's Dundee University, Glasgow University, one of the most reputed universities, are being affected because of this migration policies implemented by the UK government, right? So this is the thing which is happening right now, which is such a big drop in the number of international students. As a result, why is it in the news? Because it's actually impacting all of these institutions. Because for institutions, it was a great thing that international students were coming here because they were driving the economy of the UK. Whereas now there's a restriction on the number of students who are coming to abroad. Therefore, a lot of big chaos here in the UK. Right now, in the next section, I'm going to discuss about why are we seeing a drop in the number of international students. Because like for you, you need to make an informed choice of coming to the UK. You can't just make a random decision, wake up in the morning and I'm going to the UK. You need to be aware that, okay, if we talk about restriction of the migration policy, what does it exactly mean it for you, right? So for you, will you actually get a job after university? How's that it been impacted? So that's like what we're going to discuss in the next part of the video. Before we go there, I would really like to thank the sponsor of this video, which is Amber Students. So if you're somebody who's coming to the abroad, let's say September intake, May intake, right now Amber Students is the one of the biggest company out there which provides you the student accommodation, right? So it's a marketplace of all the student accommodation. Instead of you searching one by one like accommodations in the Glasgow, they have everything collated in their website, and they have the best of best offers available. Moreover, they have a lot of cashback offers available on their platform. So there's a link mentioned in the description of this video. Click that link and you can search for a location, and it will show you all the universities in that location, whether it's Glasgow, London, Coventry, wherever you're going. You can search for it and you can book your accommodation as soon as possible, and you also get a cashback offer, right? So make sure you check out the link mentioned in the description of this video. Now back to the video itself. In the final section of this video, we'll talk about, okay, what are some of the new policies which has led to a drop in the number of international students, so that you can make an informed choice. I think the big one is really even just on the employment rate. Okay, if you think about, okay, you want to come to the UK for your studies, first of all, as I talked about, you're paying £20,000 of fees, whereas a Scottish student is just paying about 1,000 to 2,000 pounds. A UK student is paying 10,000, right? You're paying the most amount of tuition fee, and automatically you want to come here for like a good job or a good career, right? So the career is one big thing, where they have made a lot of restrictions on getting that work visa, right? So what happens is after student visa, you need a skilled worker visa, and for skilled worker visa, they've changed the rules now. For example, they've increased the salary threshold. Before it used to be around 26 to 30,000 pound. There was a number, I think it was 28,000. But now it's increased to about 38,000 pounds, right? Now, guess what is an average graduate salary? It's somewhere around 35,000 pounds. But now a lot of students don't actually get a 35,000 pound. A lot of students who are fresh graduates without any work experience get about 30,000 pounds. So you already have a really big benchmark to set up to in order to get that job, because the employer will be like, okay, well, I need to pay this guy 38,000 pounds, whereas this job is just meant for a 30,000 pay scale. So basically, your number of jobs have been really, really reduced significantly, right? So if you had 1,000 jobs which were fitting the previous criteria, now only 100 jobs fit that criteria, right? As a result, even the current students are really struggling to get a skilled worker job, right? I'm kind of helping them out, but it's really, really hard for them to get that skilled worker visa and ultimately stay in the UK and build their career, right? So that's the first thing. And the second thing is really on the dependents, right? So there's a new rule that where you can't bring your dependents with you, which is understandable because a lot of students were actually bringing their dependents and they were working full time. Drives the economy, but at the same time puts a burden on the economy because there were so many students who were bringing their dependents. So they restricted it. But now, if you're a customer, you're an international student, for you, it's again a restriction, and that's the second big cause that why international students are going down. And thirdly, mainly the students from India and Nigeria have gone down, right? With India, career is one of the thing, but with Nigeria, there's a big thing with the devaluation of the currency, right? So when a Nigerian student wants to pay a fee in the UK, the currency is not really strong; it's really devalued. As a result, they need to spend more money as if as they want to fund their children education, right? So that's like another reason. And thirdly, the fees all across any of the in order to get any of the visas have increased, right? So whether you want to get a student visa, the fees have increased. You want to get a post-study work visa, the fees have increased. So all across the board, like the fees have increased, right? So again, it's like a bit difficult for you to afford getting that visa in the first place, right? So even that's like a really, really big thing. And the last thing, which has always been a fact, it's not something new, which is like a global competition, right? So when somebody wants to go abroad, they just don't think about UK. They want to have a comparison. Okay, how does UK ranks versus Canada versus Australia? And when they look at it, they're like, oh wow, Australia is better, like way, way better right now. Europe is much better, like Germany, where they if you learn German language, they give you free tuition fee. You don't have to pay that 20,000 pounds. So there are so many options right now where students can go, and as a result, we are seeing a big impact on the number of students who want to come to the UK, right? So that was all which I wanted to share in this video. I hope it's been helpful for all of you who are watching this, and feel free to comment in the comment section that what sort of new videos you want me to make. Thank you very much.